Hello, I'm Liam Black,
And I'm Dylan Platt.
and this is the Advanced Sport TV and Live Event Production AV2502 appraisal production process and reflection of the final products for Adam Robson.
Yeah, so today we'll be talking about our piece that we did where we recorded a football match and we put commentary over it, edited it, and uploaded it to YouTube with a submission. We did this in a group of eight, and we're just going to talk about, first of all, what went on with the production,
Yep.
then the editing, and then the final product.
And then we'll just reflect on it a bit ourselves.
Yeah.
So initially, we were put into groups. Our initial group was a group of 4. That was myself, Dylan, Aidan Bezic, and Luke Keller.
Yeah. So we had that group originally when we were all in the class, and we agreed to do a student union game because I knew that there was a cup final coming up. So I got Liam in touch with the guy, Carl Brown.
Carl
who
Brown,
runs it.
yep, the social sports coordinator at the student union. I contacted him and he was more than happy to have the game recorded. You know, it's something good for the players to look back on, he was saying.
Yeah.
And they'd never had it done to a professional standard before, which hopefully we feel like we delivered on the day.
Yeah, well, obviously we sent him the thing, and he was happy with it, wasn't he? So we'll see. It's got currently got 2 likes on YouTube.
Yeah, 90 views. So.
Yeah,
So I initially contacted the sports arena and asked them if we'd be all right to film the game there. They gave us the permission to do that.
Yeah.
As long as we had the permission of our tutor, Adam Robson.
Yeah.
And permission from Carl Brown. So over the course of around about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I was emailing Carl Brown back and forth. Must have sent about 40 emails between the two of us.
Yeah, I think you've got to take a lot of credit for that, organising wise, because obviously even though I let you know about it, you sorted it out realistically.
I found out the dates of games, the times of games, who was playing, etc., etc. So I feel like a lot of that was maybe down to myself for the actual preparation for recording, I'd say.
Definitely.
I came up with the core idea and then ran with it. So
Obviously, like, you and me spoke about it at length as well when we were at the thing, but you were the one sorting it out with him. Luke and Aidan were in the group chat. They didn't really say anything at the start, but as it went on, they both got a bit more interactive.
More involved.
Yeah, involved and interactive with us.
But it did take a while.
Yeah.
Aidan was more involved than Luke initially anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
So after we'd agreed to do that, myself and Dylan both went to the Yukon Sports Arena to do a recce the venue.
Yep. So obviously we had to make sure that it was disability accessible because Luke he's got a disability
In a wheelchair.
Yeah.
So we had to make sure it was accessible for him to be able to get in, get out. Any safety standards that were there. Was it easy for him to exit in case there was an emergency or anything like that?
Yeah. Were there and then we had to obviously check that it was alright to film there. So went and scoped out the 4G pitch. Were there any vantage points? Was there anything we could use to show that?
Yeah, and while we were there, we found the large grey steps that we used for the footage.
Yeah.
They were on the racing track, so we contacted the sports arena and asked them if they could move them around to the 4G pitch when we came to record. So.
And then we all got shown up when we tried to move them because there were 4 lads trying to move them and we could barely move it. And then one guy came and pushed the whole thing.
But more of that later. Yep, so then we came up with a date for filming with Carl Brown. And then on the day, both Luke and Aidan backed out.
Yeah.
So obviously, that wasn't brilliant.
Yeah, so, Aidan, to be fair, told us the night before.
Yeah, Aidan had been in hospital. So
yeah, Aidan had been in hospital with his asthma. He told us the night before, and then
me and Liam messaged us about an hour before we went to film saying that he wasn't coming in.
Yeah, so he basically, if me and Liam, I think we knew at that point that we weren't going to do it anyway, and we had your class in the morning.
Neither were there.
Yeah, neither of them were there. We came in, and then we were sort of just like, well, if they're not in the class, then they're not going to be filming, are they? So we just had to push it back. And then, to be fair, pushing it back did help because
it meant that we got the cup final rather than just a standard student union league game. So maybe it was more beneficial in the long run. But initially, it just doesn't come across as very professional when we're asking them for permission to shoot a game and then we're having to say, sorry, we can't make it today.
Yeah, exactly. But then obviously we got the cup final, which I think we were obviously more happy about. I think Carl was more happy about it because it's more of a momentous sort of thing. Yeah,
occasion as well at the end.
And then
it's more professional.
We got helped out as well because we had to push it back. There were a few people that hadn't been to the class beforehand, so we had 4 people added to our group.
Yeah, so we doubled our group size, which obviously increased the scope of our production.
Yeah,
so
we had Jordan Simpson,
Owen Thompson, Josh Watton, and Andrew Winterbottom added to our group.
Yeah, so in that class I wasn't very well, so I wasn't at that class. But Liam was messaging me the entire time, and I was responding, and then we gave us a call while we were sorting out all the positions and stuff. And we decided that we were going to go for, 4, 5 cameras?
Yeah, so from that we signed roles and we agreed for there to be 5 cameras initially, with 2 GoPros in either net, 2 commentators, and myself producing the production. So initially we planned to have Aidan and Luke on a corner flag.
Yeah.
Andy and Jordan behind the net.
Behind the net, yeah.
Yep. And then
we had Josh in the middle.
On the vantage point.
Yeah.
We initially wanted running cameras going up and down the touchline, but
there was only one thing, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was only one shoulder rig, which didn't fit the cameras that we got on the day, but obviously we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, we had that, and
so then obviously we had to
we had me and Owen on commentary, and then Liam was sort of producing it, going around making sure all the shots were all right, making sure everyone was fine with what they were doing, and we had it all sorted out at that point. So then we went to go and meet Carl Brown, didn't we?
That's myself, you, Jordan
and Owen.
Went to meet him because obviously, at this point we were planning on doing a presenter sketch beforehand where you could introduce the cup final, but obviously we've not done that in the end. So obviously that was going to be for Jordan to do because he was going to be the presenter, and then Owen and yourself were on commentary. So it was to get more background knowledge of the teams. Yeah,
it gave us a lot better stuff for commentary because it meant that on the day we could bring the piece of paper with the information with us, and the fact that we spoke to Carl, he got us team sheets for both the teams, which I thought was fantastic of him, because obviously we didn't want to be saying, like, for instance, Preston St. Peter's had number 5 on the back of all the shirts, so we didn't want to be going, number 5 passes to number 5 to number 5 to, do you know what I mean? Like, and it really, really helped on the commentary, and that was proper useful going to meet him. Liam organised that meet up as well, and we all sort of just decided, it's the right idea, we need to go and do it. But then we can move on to the day of the filming.
So, the day before, me and Dylan both went to the media factory to try and get the equipment out because we weren't sure if we needed release form.
Release forms and
for the equipment, but obviously
we didn't.
We didn't on the day.
So we went the day before. We didn't know.
Then on the day of the filming, we had to go back again and just.
Yeah, but then on the day of the filming, it didn't go well, did it?
No. So initially, the plan was to get 5 minutes, 5 cameras. We wanted the commentary kit, a couple of GoPros with rigging kits.
Yeah.
But on the day, the weather was very bad. It was pouring down with rain, very wet conditions. And then when we get to the media factory equipment room, they tell us that the NX5 and NX3 cameras aren't waterproof.
And that we can't use water covers
because they don't have
other cameras. They don't have any. We can't take other ones to use on them ones.
Because they won't fit.
Yeah.
They don't have the commentary kit.
Yeah, they didn't have the commentary kit.
They only have one shoulder rigging kit.
Which was quite annoying, obviously, because they said that they didn't have the commentary kit at all that existed, despite the fact that we've used it in one of your sessions. But we just had to make the most of it, didn't we? Because we'd already agreed with Carl Brown at this point that we were going to film, and we can't let down someone like that who's giving us. Yeah, he's basically counting on us, and he like.
Oh yeah. Because there was no chance of the game being called off because it was obviously on the 4G pitch, so very weather resistant. So when we went to put the equipment out, the technicians said just rearrange it and shoot it another day, but obviously that's not possible for an occasion like that.
Yeah.
So we had to think on the spot and made the call to go to Greenbank and shoot on the JVC cameras that they have there.
Yeah, so
obviously maybe it might have affected quality, but we knew that we had to shoot it that day and get cameras out.
So. Well, yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? Like, realistically, we had to shoot it, we had to edit it. Otherwise, it would look bad on our part. It would look very unprofessional from us. Especially,
and you wouldn't let us do it again, would it?
No, yeah, especially on you as well, who'd been contacting this entire time. If you just all of a sudden on the day go, oh, sorry, we don't have the cameras. It's not going to look good at all for you. It's going to look bad it was going to reflect badly on everyone in the group, but especially on Liam, who's been contacting him this whole time. So we couldn't let him down like that. And then obviously we went to Greenbank, got the JVC cameras out. So then we had to use an Olympus dictaphone as well for the commentary
because we didn't have commentary kits in Greenbank either.
Yeah, so we couldn't sacrifice the commentary because obviously it's a football match. It's a key element of a football match. If you're gonna edit a football match, you need commentary on there. Otherwise, it's boring, innit?
Like when do you see a football match that's been broadcast on TV or even online without commentary?
Yeah,
they always have commentary. It's a staple of the genre. So
exactly. So obviously it might have affected the product. We wanted 2 GoPros as well, but they only had 1. And then
when we actually got to the sports arena to use the GoPros, the one that we had was out of charge, so we couldn't use that either.
Yeah. In reflection, we probably should check that before we left Greenbank, but we were, because of what had happened earlier.
We were in a rush because basically we'd set off at 9 o'clock to get the equipment out of the media factory. It was more like about 11, half 11 by the time that we'd finished getting everything out of Greenbank.
And then we had to go back to your house and set up the waterproofs.
Yeah, because as we mentioned, it was a very wet day, so we had to waterproof the cameras, which we'd never been shown to do before, so that was a bit of
that took a while.
learning on the job, shall we say.
Yeah, a bit of a learning curve. And then we all arrived at the sports arena. We set up the cameras inside of Luke's van because we didn't want the cameras to get wet.
Nope.
So then obviously we had to carry the cameras onto the thing, like set up all the tripods, etc.
White balance.
Yeah, white balance, focus, exposure, all that good stuff. And then we set up everyone up in the positions that we mentioned before. So we had cameras, Jordan and Aiden behind the nets. Jordan and Andy behind the nets.
Aiden and Luke on the corner flags.
Yeah.
Josh Watton in the high angle position on the grey steps.
Yeah, and then me and Owen were in the middle doing the commentary so that we didn't affect any of the cameras and any of the sound from the cameras didn't overlap with our commentary.
Yep, and then in the second half, we decided to move Josh from the high angle shot down to behind the goal and swapped him with Jordan.
Because
obviously the one shoulder rig that we had didn't fit the JVC cameras. It was designed for the NX5s.
Yeah,
so.
And then we didn't have the one of our cameras broke as well. So because obviously the rain, it wasn't the rain that broke it.
It was working
Just
fine
a dead
later
camera.
on. It was just something happened to it while during.
So
Andy's time it died.
Andy's camera had died. So all of that. Well, we still had the memory from the first half, but the first half was a bit boring compared to the second half.
Oh yeah.
So we decided to use the second half regardless.
Yeah. So then when I found out that Andy's camera died, I had to make the decision as producer to realign some of the positions.
Yeah.
So then about 5-10 minutes into the second half, I had to remove the high angle shot.
Yeah.
Because it was due to the fact the tripod wouldn't fit on the steps and we didn't have the shoulder rig fitting it. The shots might have been a bit wobbly anyway. I wasn't too sure about the quality of them.
Yeah.
So I decided to make a call to move that shot down, place it on the left-hand side of the pitch, just past the halfway line on a tripod as high as it would go.
Yeah.
And then move Aiden from the corner flag to behind the goals to replace Andy. So we had that area ground covered.
And then we had Andy going around doing the same sort of stuff that you were and checking shots.
Yep, I sort of left him with Jordan and Aiden so that he could focus on that side of the pitch.
But obviously,
while I kept going around and making sure everyone else was still all right.
Obviously, it was very wet and we were very cold at the time anyway, so it was hard to keep moving around because you sort of just wanted to. Obviously, you were doing it, but it was just freezing, wasn't it, that day?
It was an awful day.
Yeah, it was a bad day.
We couldn't have picked a worse day for it, but we had to make the most out of a bad situation. And it was Murphy's Law. Anything that could go wrong did go wrong in the day. But
I think at the end of the day we've come out. We'll talk about this more later, but I think we've come out with for what it is, a good product.
A good product.
Yeah. And then, so if we can, do you want to move on to the editing process? I'll speak a bit more on.
Yeah, we can move on to the editing process.
Yeah. So we'll agree to edit on the Thursday, apart from me, because I had work commitments on Thursdays. I work in the morning on Thursday, so I said that I'd come afterwards, after work.
And the other 7 in our group agreed to come in on the Thursday.
Yeah. So Liam, Jordan, and Owen all went down a bit earlier, and we're expecting everyone else to come afterwards
and meet us at any point, but obviously that never materialised.
Yeah. So Andy and Josh said that they overslept, and Aiden was Aiden told us the day before, to be fair to him,
Yeah.
that he was picking up wedding photos, which, fair enough. At the end of the day, I feel like that's...
It's a valid excuse, and at least he gives us a bit of prior warning so that we knew to not expect him on the day.
But then Luke said at 2 o'clock.
Well, Luke has said that he was not going to... Well, he just said that he wasn't coming in. He never gave us a reason why or anything, just that he wasn't coming. But he said that he'd definitely make it in the Friday if we were still editing then.
Yeah, so give him the benefit of the doubt he had something went wrong or whatever.
And obviously he does commute anyway.
Yeah, exactly,
from Manchester.
Exactly. Which is obviously why we'll talk about it later, but on a different day we didn't make Andy and Aiden come. But yeah, so then we all came in the Friday because we were all free in the Friday.
Yep.
And everyone had agreed to go on the Friday.
Well, we say everyone apart from Luke.
Yeah, everyone apart from Luke. And then, because he did. He said that he'd come in and then messaged the group chat later on and went, "Oh, sorry lads, I couldn't come in today."
Well, he never told us, did we? We had to pressure him into an answer.
Oh yeah, we did. We had to actually ask him.
We were expecting him and he just never shows up. So,
but yeah,
obviously Owen had to send him a message asking him where he is on the group chat, and then he just replied saying, "Sorry, had an interview today, can't make it." But that was at about 2-3 o'clock. So as in he could have let us know at any point earlier in the day.
But as bad as it sounds, I feel like even on that day we were probably better without him. Regardless, we did a lot of work on that day. I feel like that's the day where we were the most productive.
Oh, definitely.
Because we literally came in, got it done, and then it just meant on the other editing days we could do finishing touches, graphics, add the commentary in. But yeah, on that day we looked through the footage and we decided to use the last 25 minutes because there were...
Yeah, so the game ended
6-2 and it was 3-0 when we started with 25 minutes left.
Yeah.
With 25 minutes left of the game. So obviously it's where the most action is.
5 goals to pick from in 25 minutes, so that just made the most logical sense due to it being the most high action-packed section of the game, shall we say.
Yeah, so obviously the fact that we used the second half and because obviously it was so much better than the first half, we lost Andy's camera.
Yep, so that handicapped us in a way, so we were down to 4 cameras at that point, but we thought, we can make it work.
With 4 cameras, yeah, and then... But then we looked through the last...
We started reviewing the footage. Jordan had recorded some good footage, Josh had recorded some good footage.
And Aiden's was alright,
alright footage as well. And then Luke's footage was not brilliant, is how I'll say.
I'm not sure... I don't know if he meant to do it, but he was... The last 20 minutes of the game, he was just filming the ground. In hindsight, probably should have put him on commentary.
But he had every opportunity to say that he wanted to go on commentary.
Yeah, exactly.
Or couldn't do a camera.
Exactly.
And he made clear that he was fine to do a camera on the day. Now, when I was checking his shots, he had good shots, but then when I'm going around checking everyone else, his camera's obviously dropped down and he's not kept focus of the game. And there was a moment where there's a goal scored down at his end, and he's obviously on the corner flag, so he should have a great angle of it. Yeah. And instead, he's filming the floor. Yeah. So we couldn't use any of his footage. Every good shot that he did get was whilst the players up the other end of the pitch.
Yeah, exactly.
Which obviously
we used Aiden
and Jordan had better shots off, so we couldn't use any of his footage in the final cut.
So I just sort of bummed that footage off.
We had to make do with 3 cameras.
Yeah, but
we were down from a potential 7, including GoPros, to 3.
But yeah, again, like I said, I feel like the final product did come out all right, considering that. And then, obviously, he could have told us, but we saw him in the last 10 minutes of the game on his phone, which I think
it was unprofessional.
If you have a legitimate excuse for why you can't film, even if you don't want to tell us, right, fair enough. You've tried. You've at least kept your concentration and tried to film the entire time. But when you sat there on your phone. Me and Owen were commentating, so all we were doing was watching the match and talking. Yeah. We weren't on our phones.
Everyone else was watching the match, watching the shots.
Exactly.
Now, obviously, I appreciate it was difficult with the water cover over the camera. You might not have been able to necessarily see what shots was filming all the time, but it felt like a lot of the shots that I've watched back from when I wasn't there directing his camera were just guesswork of where the ball was, and other times he just let the camera drop and just hope for the best.
But yeah, so we moved on and...
Yep, so we had to look through the footage from the 3 remaining cameras now and try to piece something together from that.
Yeah, so while me and Josh started doing that, and me and Josh were left in the editing room while you, Owen, Andy, Aiden and Jordan went to go and film a VT package.
Hopefully, but
yeah,
obviously
a
that
presenter
never
package.
materialised. But
They tried the best. They got in the studio, but it was booked out at the time, and then we couldn't get in there at all. And we figured that it was just.
and then
we felt
obviously
it was
myself
a bit
and
out of place
Owen,
anyway.
myself and Owen came and found you, and we were asking about the presenter section, and you said as long as there was commentary on it, it was fine anyway. So
Yeah.
we decided that it wasn't necessary, and it was more trouble than it was necessary.
Yeah, so then
worth.
Me and Josh were in the editing studio. Well, not editing studio, just sat there editing it on Premiere Pro. And me and the hardest bit, to be honest, was syncing all the cameras up. Do you know, as in like making sure that they're all in sync so that you can edit fine. And then that was the hardest bit. We sorted that out. And then you were on for an hour? And we'd done about 12, 13 minutes of editing. You were all a bit surprised. I don't think any of you thought I could edit. But yeah, and then so everyone got back. We all started editing, and Jordan, Andy, and Aiden all had to go because Jordan had work and the other two commute, so it was the last trains back. So me, you, Owen, and Josh all stayed and worked on the editing.
Yeah, we were in uni till about 7, 8 o'clock that night.
Yeah.
It was, we thought we've got to get this done now. And whilst we're all here and we have no other commitments, it's best to finish it off and get the 25 minutes of what we were going to submit, just generally the raw sections of it, pieced together, pick which shots you're using from which camera, and then have that boxed off and done.
Yeah, so you
Obviously, a lot of that was done by yourself.
Yeah. But to be fair, while I was doing that, it sort of helped that you lot, because you lot were sort of in the corner talking about like what we could do instead of the presenter stuff, if we could add anything extra to it. And for me, when I'm working, that helps anyway, because I'm better when I'm just on my own. I'm just in my own zone, focusing on doing it. So if I'm just sat there doing whatever, like looking at the footage, all that, I found it easier just doing it on my own anyway. And then obviously I double checked it with you. Whatever other shots were better, we used them. We chopped and changed it.
We were impressed with what we got.
Pretty impressed, yeah. And then so
at that point we
just saved it, went home because it was like 8 o'clock. Yeah,
we've done enough for today. We can pick this up again on Monday because we were only in the morning for an hour and a half.
Yeah, so we told Andy and Aiden on the Monday that they didn't have to come because they both commute, and it wouldn't have been worth it, because all we were basically doing was just adding.
It was just adding the finishing touches.
So it
cherry
was
on top of the cake.
Yeah, it's not really worth it, like a tenner for a train, if we're literally just doing that.
No, especially if it was mainly yourself doing the editing and they
exactly.
just sat around.
Exactly, like they're not exactly great at the technical stuff. Anyway, so like obviously, yeah, we said that, but then Luke again didn't communicate to us that he wasn't coming in.
So at this point, Luke has not been able to use any of his footage, and he didn't show up to a single editing process. So obviously, it's a bit of a difficult situation as to whether to credit him for this or not. But he made the effort to show up on the day and try and film.
Yeah, like you got to credit him, but it's just obviously
he's not contributed a single thing to the final product, is what I'll say.
Yeah, exactly. But it is what it is, isn't it?
Yep. So then on the Monday we came in, we synced the commentary up to the footage.
Yep, which was difficult, yeah, to say the least.
Because it's got to be right down to the second of when a goal goes in. You can't have the delay of the goal goes in, then 3 seconds later, goal.
Yeah, exactly.
It just don't work.
And then we tried to export it, and the exporting didn't work. So
and we managed to lose footage during that exporting process.
That was very annoying. I'd spent ages doing it, and then half of my footage just went missing. I don't know where it went, but it just went missing. Then I had to do it again, sync it all up again, do that, and then. But that's probably, to be fair, as much as I like the final product now, before I had to like re-edit all that stuff, I thought it was better. Like definitely, but obviously at that point,
we had to find the right shots from the right cameras again, and maybe a few might have gone missing or couldn't find them again at the exact moment.
Exactly.
But
yeah.
What can we do?
Yeah, exactly. And then
Yep. So then as well, we wanted to add on a scoreboard, and we wanted to add on a timer on the game.
Yeah. So Liam found out a good way to add the clock on, because we couldn't find a timer anywhere online whatsoever on Premiere Pro. So we were struggling for time, basically.
Yeah, so I came up with the idea of almost what Match of the Day do, where when there's a key moment in the game, just put the minute of the game in the top corner,
Yeah.
and it plays on from there. So it allowed the viewer to know what minute it was when any key moments happened, such as the goals that went in.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought it was a good little workaround because we couldn't figure out the clock, and any clock that we could find would start from minute 1 when we were starting the football game from minute 65, so it just would have been very off-putting for any viewer.
Yeah, so obviously, like, if it hits 90 minutes and then it says 25 and the final whistle goes, you'll be like, what's going on here?
It just won't look very professional either.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we added, in terms of the scoreboard,
yeah, the scoreboard, we just put that in the top corner.
Put a text box in.
Text box, yeah. Because, again, we couldn't find anything that wasn't going to cut up the rest of the footage, I'd say. Because, obviously, if we just put something across the entire top, then it cuts out the whole top of the footage, which you won't be able to see the ball going in the air, dropping, all that, because, obviously, we couldn't have a high angle in the second half.
Yep, and obviously we put on the graphics and music at the start and end of the production.
Yeah, which is the Lancashire FA music.
Yep, so we thought that was pretty relevant to the game, as it is a Yukon Cup. It's based at the University of Central Lancashire. And as well, we added the graphics on that said the team names, the Yukon Rovers and the Preston St. Peters at the start. And then
with the logos.
With the logos. When Rovers lifted the cup, we had a graphic come up saying congratulations to Yukon Rovers, the Students' Union Cup champions. And then when the production finished, we had another graphic showing the final score with the Lancashire FA music again.
Yeah.
It was professional, and
it added a professional
it added value to it.
Yeah.
Because obviously you have the introduction music and the ending music, which is something you see on something like a Sky Sports.
Yeah, it added a proper professional touch to it. Felt it gave us a bit more of a platform. To make it look better, and then
I feel like the raw footage itself was good, but then that just added to it.
Yeah. So in terms of the actual final product, what did you think about it?
I think considering everything that went wrong, I couldn't be more happy with it than what we've got.
Yeah.
I feel like the fact that we've been handicapped from a potential of 7 angles down to 3 that we could use in the final product, and the amount of work that we put in with some lackluster members of the group.
Yeah. We had to push Aiden and Luke quite a bit to get the stuff done, but Aiden,
especially initially when it was just the 4 of us in the group.
Yeah.
It was mainly myself and you.
Yeah.
We were trying to organise everything, and then Aiden just wanted to show up on the day and be told what to do, and Luke had no communication initially, and it didn't improve throughout the process really.
No, but at the end of the day, we got it done, and I think watching it now, I'm quite happy with how it's gone. It could have gone better.
If we were able to add another couple of shots, angles.
Yeah, another couple of shots, another couple of angles could have gone better, like presenting stuff at the start, but at the end of the day, it's not our forte, it's our first time doing it.
Yep.
And I feel like the filming went alright. Obviously, it's a bit weird because Aiden's camera wasn't properly exposed.
It was at the start, but then I think when it got dark, everyone else seemed to expose theirs again, whereas I don't think Aiden did.
Yeah. So sometimes it just goes from like light to dark,
like it did, where due to the month that we filmed in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Where it's going dark quickly. It was bright when we kicked off, and then by the second half, we got the floodlights on. It's almost pitch black.
Yeah. And obviously, like, I feel like the commentary could have been a bit better with a proper commentary kit, but we just had to share it was cold. We couldn't hold an Olympus each, basically.
It's like, obviously, you had 2 Olympuses initially when you were commentating. Then when I came and saw you about 5 minutes into the game, I just told you to get rid of one of them straight away.
Yeah.
Because I knew it would have been impossible to edit 2 Olympuses together.
Yeah,
because you would have just been picking up each other's voice.
Definitely. On
the one Olympus, so I just made that call pretty early on.
Yeah.
I felt that was probably the right choice.
It was definitely the right choice. It was. I thought, to be fair, I thought that when we started filming, and I was sort of like, and then when you came and told us, I just went, yeah, I'll just turn mine off.
Obviously, if we used the first 25 minutes, it might have affected the product, but because we only used the last 25,
I think
we were only using the one Olympus throughout that. I feel obviously you wouldn't have noticed that throughout.
I think we were probably always going to end up using the last 25 minutes realistically, because you want to get that with a cup final, because Carl Brown wanted the piece as well. You want to get that lifting of the trophy.
Yep.
And you want to get
the final whistle.
Yeah, the final whistle. And obviously with that goal at the end where the keeper messed up and then he scored, it was good when it like, and then you had me and Owen going a bit mental in the last 25 minutes as well.
Getting into it, shall we
well,
say?
we did. We got very into it, to be fair. And you couldn't hear Owen breathing because obviously I had to take the Olympus off him because he was holding it.
It was that cold.
He was that cold. He was going,
some of the footage you see, his perms
in it,
very flat and
I know.
sodden and soaking wet.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, I'm quite happy with how it went, to be honest.
Considering that we lost the running cameras in the day as well, we
Yeah.
couldn't use the cameras that were the NX5s or the NX3s. We had to add waterproof covers on the day that we'd never done before, we'd never been taught what to do.
Yeah, we had to do a lot of stuff ourselves.
Considering the conditions and what we had to work with initially, I don't think it could have gone much better than it did.
I felt you and me as well, personally. Obviously, you have to talk about your own personal performance as well. Felt like you, me, Owen. Jordan and Josh, maybe. Probably more you, me, and Owen. For me, anyway. For me, personally. I think you, me, and Owen did a lot. Did a lot of it. And
Jordan was good.
Jordan was good. And then I feel like we were both moving on quite quickly. Like, you and me had to make some...
Josh was good as well.
Josh was good in the editing.
And Aiden wanted to contribute, but it's just not the forte.
Yeah. They both tried the best. It's just not the best. It's just not the forte. Like, it's like you say. You and me knew we had to take control of it from the start.
Yeah, which is why I chose to produce it on the day.
Yeah,
because I knew that I've got to try and take control of this. If there's any emergency situations like there was with the cameras going down,
yeah, exactly.
Then I thought I'm probably in the best situation to be able to.
Yeah, and I know that you're personally better than me with cameras and leading people, so that was a good job for you to do.
And plus the fact that I've been in contact with Carl Brown throughout. Yeah. If he needed to ask for anything from us, or if I needed to ask for anything from him, it was best for me to do that due to us already having created the relationship in the pre-production process.
Definitely. And then it went fairly well. Obviously it's not perfect. Like when you watch it back, there's like one bit I think at the start where the commentary's a bit out, but that's where you'll notice it because it's where my footage cut out. Do you know where the footage of the actual thing disappeared and then I had to re-edit it? Obviously it was a lot harder because I think to be honest it would have been easier to literally just edit the whole thing again, but the shots were
what we'd already done
exactly. And
not worth losing all that.
Towards the end, the shots were too good, and I know personally I would have got too frustrated and just started chucking random shots in there
that weren't the quality that you already done before.
Exactly, yeah. But I think that's right.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you. That was our appraisal and our reflection for your module. That was Dylan Platt, me, and
Liam Black.
Hope
you enjoy watching the footage.
Yeah, exactly.